Hello, who's online? Good evening. I'm 34 minutes late. I should have been online at 5. No, leave the door open. Thank you. Okay, so I was on a class earlier today. I went to hold a public speaking class with some preteens and teenagers, and it was quite an interesting class. And then I tried to find. There's a poster I needed to find for today's topic. By the way, for those who are online, this is the Dear Nigerian Parents series, okay? Dear Nigerian Parents. Stop this. That's the series. This is episode 9 for February, right? Hey, Chimere, where have you been? Okay, so this is episode 9, and this series is focused on Nigerian parents. If you're watching for the first time, I think you're watching for the first time. If you're watching for the first time, this is a series dedicated to Nigerian parents. The purpose of this series is to draw our attention to things that we do every day of our parenting lives that sabotage, hey Blue Gems, welcome, that sabotage our parenting game, that put us in a whole lot of trouble, that sabotage the efforts we make in parenting fantastic alpha children. All right, and so we do these things. Most times we think, as parents today, we say, look, that's how my parents raised me, and look how I turned out. And the thing is, we didn't turn out okay. It's just that a lot of us do not know that we didn't turn out okay, have not realized that we didn't turn out okay, or are not agreeing, are in denial that we didn't turn out okay. But we didn't turn out okay. A lot of us are still trapped in traumatic experiences, adverse childhood experiences that are dictating a lot of things we're doing today as adults that are not favorable to us, that are not helping us in so many. They are not helping us in many more ways than one. And we keep saying, look how we turned out. Dear Nigerian parents, we didn't turn out okay because of the kind of parenting we got. And the thing about that is this: added to it, the times of our parents, the times of our childhood was way easier, way simpler, way more protected than the present childhood. Times of the childhood that our children are in right now. A lot of things are going on, and we cannot continue to use the same parenting game we used yesteryears to raise our children and to parent today. So this is why this series, Dear Nigerian Parents, this February we have 10 episodes. We are on episode 9. If you haven't seen the other episodes, you need to go back and find them. So if you can find them here on my account here on Instagram, you can go on YouTube, search O.O.N TV 7430 or Omelogo Nadi, and you would find my YouTube channel, and you can watch the series. It's the Dear Nigerian Parents series. So today, the reason this is a bit late, because I usually come on at 5, is I was trying to find a poster that was made from a report about nannies. There is a report that says that our children, most of the habits that our children have are picked up from the closest adults in their lives. And if the closest adult in the life of your child is the nanny, the house help, the maid, whatever you choose to call this person in your home, your child would pick up traits, behaviors, and characters, attitudes from your nanny. What that means is your child would behave, would speak like your nanny. Your child would develop preferences and stuff that is peculiar to his or her caretaker, the nanny. Now, the focus for today's episode is this. Dear Nigerian parents, I know you are busy. I know you are working. You're no longer working 9 to 5. You're probably working 8 to 9, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. or 8 to 10. And then you're working. You're working. Your husband is working. You're both always out of the house. You don't have a choice. But dear Nigerian parents, stop leaving the parenting of your child to your house help. Stop it. Do you see how serious my face is? Stop it. Most times what we're having, I have a couple of friends who live in places like Lagos who have to go out in the morning, very early in the morning, and come back late in the evenings, and they have their children from sunup to sundown with the house help. I have a friend who didn't even know what to do. She got a new nanny. She got the nanny today. By the following day, the day after, she was leaving her children in the home with the nanny. And I said, what if she runs away with the children? She said, security, this, that, estate security. What if she poisons them? What if she tortures them? What if she... I raised all manners of alarms in her head, just to draw her attention to the risk, for it, first of all, of leaving her children with a strange woman, someone she doesn't know, someone she hasn't done a background security check on, someone she doesn't know her principles, her character, her values. Someone she doesn't know her, what's this grammar now that talks about things that that people love to do, things they spend their time on, right? Someone doesn't know what tickles, someone you doesn't know that she doesn't know what tickles her fancy, the kind of pastimes she has. Day 1, day 2, and you leave your children with the person. She told me she had no choice. And so she continued to leave her children with the nanny, someone she met a day prior. She and her husband would leave for work and come back in the evening, and the children are alone with the nanny. Dear Nigerian parent, do you know the risk of that? You can tell me you have no choice. I understand it, don't get me wrong. I understand that some life happens and Nigeria happens, and you do not have a choice other than to leave your children with strangers. But I want you to, for a moment, think about all the dangers that could arise from that. Today, in a parenting group that a parenting community that I convened, someone put in a video of a child who was sent to a school, and I do not know if that was a CCTV camera or someone was videoing, because the angle of the camera didn't look like it was coming from above. It looked like it was coming from the side. So it appeared as somebody was videoing, and a caregiver, an adult, was brutally beating a child. I didn't say spanking, that's English. Brutally beating a child who could not have been more than 4 years old. Maybe she's 3 or 4, but not up to 5. She was brutally beating that child, a girl, and she kept on asking her, why did you throw up? And the girl was frantically wiping the table, wiping the chairs. That video has been posted in the group since morning. I haven't said a word. because I feel traumatized by that video. Why? I feel traumatized on two accounts: as a parent and as a school owner. It behoves on the owner of a school, for instance, to check the kinds of persons that they bring on to put people's children in their care. It is a reason why you need CCTV cameras around your school, so that you can see what those people are doing or what they do when no one is watching. You should go and play back, and if you can, you need to put CCTV cameras with audio so that you can hear what they are saying to the children when no one is there, when no one is watching, right? You need to do that, and you need to watch them for the first few weeks, maybe even months. That's why they're on probation, so you can see how they handle children. There are always traits to notice when they feel that they have passed the probational period. You would notice it, because people cannot pretend forever. There are people who can pretend for a long time, but people cannot pretend forever. Now, if you in a school have someone who you entrust your child to, who should have been properly vetted, properly scrutinized, properly, oh my goodness, and you still have that person, a teacher, brutalizing your child. I want you to think of a nanny, a house help, a maid, whatever you choose to call this person, that an agent that is interested only in making money and doing business, who does not know you and doesn't care about your cares. A person that this agent brought to you from where? Most of them put a lot of inconsistencies in their documentation. They lie about their ages, they lie about where they are from, they lie about who their guarantors are, they lie about a lot of things. And you leave your children in their care and you go away. In the school, there is a supervisor, so you can even rest easy that maybe there are other people who are watching. In your homes, there is only your children and the nanny. If you're fortunate, there will be other grown adults. Dear Nigerian parents, you are running a huge risk by leaving your children with the nanny alone, allowing your nannies to raise your children. When they spend a lot of time with the nanny, they will start to speak like your nanny, like the nanny. They will start to reason like the nanny, because they are the ones they're having conversations with. Now, if they will start to behave like the nanny. So if the nanny is somebody who is always short-tempered, shouting, bullying, being mean, your child will pick those traits, especially in the first 7 years. Those are the most critical. They are the years where the foundation of your child is laid. And if you're having your nanny do the parenting in your stead, what they are going to adopt and adapt to are the idiosyncrasies, the behaviors, the attitudes, the opinions, the preferences of the most dominant adult in their lives, and that is the nanny. What can you do to avert that? Because, for instance, you have your child speak some sorts of, do you have your child in your home speaking one conscious, if I may, one conscious English, and go like, what's that? the pronunciations that they use for words, and you're wondering, where did you get that from? From their caregiver, from the help. Sometimes it's from the teachers in schools, because they're also spending a lot of time with the teachers. But more so the nannies, who are there with them in the mornings, in the afternoons when they come back from school, and in the evenings. So they're picking up these pronunciations. You notice that. And then you find that your child, maybe you're a very calm person, you're low toned, but you find your child talking aggressively, and you're wondering, why are you so aggressive? What's going on? Check your nanny. You find your child eating a certain way. You're not eating with them because you're busy. You have to rush out for work in the mornings and you don't come back until evenings. So they're eating with the nanny. The mannerisms, the way they eat, everything, check. Do you notice things that you can't explain where they are from? You can't explain how come your child is talking a certain way, behaving a certain way, being some logic that the child tries to put before you. Seems like, what kind of check? What can you do to avert that? Parenting requires a lot of time. A lot of time. If you don't have the opportunity or the advantage of creating that time to spend with your children, you need to draw out a map that allows you, a plan that allows you to check what they have done. At the end of the day, if you cannot do it daily, you need to try to do it weekly. But there has to be time that you create to check through what they have adopted. What they have adapted. So if you're busy Monday to Friday, you need to make yourself create time during the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, to spend with your children. If you do not do that, you would have strangers in your home in the name of children, because people whom you cannot vouch for their values or their principles are spending more time with your children than you. Dear Nigerian parents, stop delegating your parenting duties to nannies. Create time. On a Saturday, it is a day for you to rest, right? No worries. But would you ensure that, for instance, you can stay late in bed? You have the nanny, right? Let them do the house chores. Stay late in bed. Wake up and create a kind of family time. It could be a time that you play games with your children. It could be a time, there are some games, some family games, board games and stuff like that you can get, so that you can create time to stay with your children. Listen to them talk. Listen to their conversation. Ask them questions. So what was the most amazing experience you had in school this week? No, how was your week? How was your week? The answer to how was your week in Nigeria is fine. There's nothing else. After fine, there is a big full stop. So don't ask your child how was. No, it's too simple. What was the most interesting thing that happened to you during the week at school this week? As in, if it looks like your child isn't volunteering, start with you. Start with yourself. Find something to share with them, an experience you had. Paint it, make it graphic. Talk about the way the day was, what you were wearing, what people were wearing, the looks on their faces, the sound of their voices, the way the ambience of the paint pictures. Children work with pictures. When you create that picture in their mind's eye, you pull them out of wherever they are running away into to hide away from conversation with you, because probably you may or may not have been having that conversation. Hello, Warren Jude, welcome. You may or may not have been having that conversation with them. So when you start, you go first. Paint a picture of something that happened at the office. Be graphic. Talk about these things that can create pictures in their mind's eye. Tell them how you felt when some things happened, when someone said something, or when you realized that this was a certain thing was an implication of something you might have done. Let them know. Let them see you be vulnerable and down to earth and simple and chatty. It might be something funny, something hilarious. Share it with them. When you have gone first, then you can ask them, so what about you? What interesting thing happened at school this week? What was the most interesting? What happened? Or what was something that happened that made you rather sad or upset? Or, what did you find? What was the most challenging thing for you in school? When you do that, when you ask questions like that, you get them thinking, you get them involved, and when you listen, these are the things that you would hear. You would hear their manners of expression, how good, how greatly or poorly they are able to express themselves, how they are able to tag their emotions, how they are able to name them. You would see what sorts of opinions they have. Are they opinionated? Are they tolerant? Do they understand things simply? You will understand how their views, their world views are. You would see the kinds of personalities that they have. These are the things that you would hear and see when you listen to your children, when you pull them into conversations. And that way, you would listen to the way they speak. If they are picking an expression, some, expression on the streets, in the hood, or you're going to hear. If they are picking up some mannerisms, you're going to hear, you're going to see. If it is from school, if it is from home, you're going to know. And you're going to see, you're going to also hear the things that they leave unsaid. If they are children who, for one reason or the other, have been unhappy for a while, it's going to show in the things that they say or leave unsaid. You're going to hear. If they are overly excited over, something's happening at school, maybe some person that they just met, a new friend. They could be preteens, they could be just children, they could be teenagers, any age range. You're going to hear. You're going to take note when you're listening to them. And that way, your parenting abilities are going to kick in. You're going to see where you can guide. You're going to see where you can nurture. You're going to see where you would encourage. You're going to see where you will caution. Do not leave these things to their nannies or your helps alone. Don't do it. Stop it. Be involved. No matter how busy you find yourself, create time to parent. Most of us, what we do is ship them off to school because, we need to breed work. School runs. So we ship them off to school and we expect that the teachers are going to do the job. Now, if the teachers are not doing the job, we expect that when they come home, please go and tell, you call the name of their nanny, go and tell them this. They're fixing their food, they're fixing their clothes, they're fixing if they want to see some, go and tell them, let her attend to it. What are you doing as the parent Can you at least feel the emotional need of your child? Because if you don't, except you have a house help or a nanny that is sent from heaven, and many of them these days are sent from everywhere else but heaven. Everywhere else but heaven. Most of them these days. Except you have those ones that are particularly sent from heaven. It means that you're relegating the well-being of your child, the development of your child, the foundation of your child to someone who has little to offer. When you do that, your children would grow into strangers, and you begin to ask yourself, where did I go wrong? I provided everything. You went to the best schools, you wore the best clothes, you went on holidays, yada 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 yada. That is not what is vital in the lives of your children. No, it's not. In one of the series, when I spoke about disregarding the emotional and mental well-being of the children, which a lot of us Nigerian parents are doing, because we do not think that it is a thing or that it should be a thing. I explained how you find a teenage girl, your teenage daughter, who is already following sugar daddies, and you as a father, you're mad. What sort of useless? You call your wife, you didn't, what are you doing? You're not raising my daughter. Meanwhile, you as the dad are the one who is not present. You are not available to be a daddy to your daughter. And so your daughter has a gap in her life that she needs to fill. And another daddy out there gives the sugar that she isn't getting at home. And you are condemning your daughter for something that is your fault in your home. When you delegate your parenting roles to other people, the house help, the teacher, the whomever you delegate it to, you create gaps between you and your children. When they grow up, what they're going to give you, if they have it, is resources, not their love, not their time, not their emotions, nothing. Why? Because you did not invest it. Dear Nigerian parent, stop delegating your parenting role to house helps, especially house helps. I'm not including teachers at the moment because there are lots of amazing teachers. Yes, there are also other lots of not so amazing teachers. But there's a higher chance that you would send your child to school and the child would get a lot of assistance from one or two teachers who are particular about how they behave, how they turn out emotionally. It doesn't always happen. But when you leave the teachers to do the role at school and at home, when the children come home, you are not still there, you're delegating the duty to the house helps, you're causing a lot of havoc that will come calling in the future. And when it comes calling, you will cry. You will cry. So save yourself the trouble now. If you have a house help, for instance, you're of their help. Don't say that that she's a disciplinarian. It's lie. Find out why they're afraid of her. There's probably bullying going on. There's probably a threat, a constant threatening going on, where they say if you tell mommy, if you tell daddy, I will kill you. You know mommy and daddy will not be at home. Children can easily be manipulated into such fears. If you are not even paying attention and constantly there to tell them, if somebody tells you they will kill you or they will kill me, please come and tell me. There's even more reason why I should know. They are lying. They can't do anything. If you're not doing those constant sorts of talks with your children and showing up in terms of presence to reassure them that they are not saying the truth, because I will be there, then there is room for those kinds of threats and abuse and bullying, maltreatment to be happening in your home, right under your nose. Check it. If there are too many accidents, you're checking, and one thing or the other is always going wrong in your home, and your children are in the midst of it all, check. There's something going wrong. If your children are not listening to you anymore, and they're always listening to your house help, check. There's something wrong. You can't be so bad that they don't listen to anything you say. They don't respect you anymore. You can't be so bad. And if you were so bad, then it is time you sat up, because you should be the principal disciplinarian, the principal guide as a Nigerian, as a parent in their lives. So if they don't listen to, don't dismiss and say, these children don't listen to me. Then you call the house help. Nkechi, Julie, come. You are the one these children listen to. Stop it. It's not your help's responsibility to guide your children's path. It is yours. Stop delegating it. If your help is always the one who is making decisions about what your children should do and how they should be done, yes, it shows that they are what's the word now? They are available, they are focused, they are organized. Yes, it shows that they are organized. But please, be in the midst of that organization. Be informed, be aware. For every decision should be taken by you and then carried out by them. The decision should not be taken by your helps, and you will get in, and you will be informed. FYI, please stop being the FYI champion in your home. Be in the know. Be the decider. That's something you should be worried about. If your children are spending a lot of time television watching, on the computer, on their gadgets, iPads, when you're at home, you're talking to them, they're not. That's a flag. That's even a whole new topic for another day. The damage, the gross damages that gadgets and bad use, inappropriate use of technology is having, the impact of inappropriate use of technology and gadgets and electronics on our children. That has the damages, the ramification of the damages caused are things that you cannot even begin to imagine. But there are lots of researches out there. I put up a post on this on I think 2 weeks ago, and you can find it down on the trail of this my broadcast, my live broadcast. You can find it down there. The bad effects of gadgets and technology on our children. So that's a whole new topic altogether. Now, if you're seeing a lot of people in your homes, around your homes, who are friends with your help, just notice this. Who is this? Oh, that's my friend. They're not entering the house. They're just around. Or they are sending your children to go and run errands. They say, where is, you ask of a child. They say, they call the name of the nanny. Send him or send her to go and do one. Be mindful. Where are they going? That you're not sending them. They shouldn't be sent. So, dear Nigerian parents, this is not a topic for plenty talk. It's just for you to be aware that parenting your children should be your primary role. Do not stop delegating it to other people. First, you're doing it to teacher, you delegate to the teachers, and then most especially when they return home, you're delegating to the nannies, the helps, the maids, the carers, whatever, the governesses, whatever name you choose. It is not their duty. It is yours. When you delegate this responsibility to them, you create a gap. That gap, you must pay for it in the future. And that future is no longer distant. It is here. It is now. When children are becoming so very much emotional these days, because there are lots of things coming at them from all angles in the world of today, and there is need for us as parents to check, talk to them, have conversations, sample their opinions, listen to them. And when you listen, read in between the lines so that you can hear some of the things that they are not saying to you. And please stop being judgmental. Listen without judgment. Listen to help, not to respond. Listen to help. Listen to understand and help, not to respond, not to criticize, not to condemn. Dear Nigerian parents, stop delegating your parenting duties, your parental duties to the help. There are red flags in your homes that you need to look out for. Please look out for, yay, oh Peppa. You need to look out. You need to look out for them and fix them, plug them. Be present. It is very, very important. So this is episode 9. There is one more episode for February that comes tomorrow, and we would wrap up for the month of February. And subsequently, for subsequent months, we're going to have 5 episodes every month. There is always one thing that each episode is going to bring to light that we as Nigerian parents are doing. We are an amazing people. Our children are blessed. Our children are amazing. Our children come with a lot of things that we fail to nurture aright because of the parenting patterns that we have adopted. And these patterns need to be repealed. These patterns need to change, and that is the focus of this series. My name is Omelogon Nadi. I am the children nurturer. I gotta say, adios, amigos. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Ciao. Bye.